Hello, everybody. My name is Carson Rayfuse, and I'm the current artistic director of the Red Deer Players Society. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through how you can apply for the Carole Forhan Theater Arts Scholarship. If you're not familiar with the scholarship, it is a scholarship that is awarded annually, totaling $500 to a youth in the community aged 14 to 21 that has demonstrated exceptional passion, dedication, and commitment to the theater arts. This scholarship can be put towards any opportunity that would help the individual further their knowledge and training in theater arts, including post-secondary training, classes, summer camps, and anything relating to theater arts in that realm. We could talk a little bit more about specific examples later in the video. For now, I think it's appropriate that we start by showing you where you can find all the information about the scholarship. So we're going to start on reddeerplayers.com. Once you get to this page here, if you're watching this in the future, it might look a little different, but it should be mostly the same. You're going to go over to more. You're going to hit the Carole Forhan Theater Arts Scholarship. And then you're going to scroll down. First, there's a bunch of lovely information about Carole and who she was. I highly recommend that you check this out when you're on the page. Then it's got all of our application and selection information. I'm going to just blitz through this. If you want more details, it's here on the website. But the main things is the preference is given from applicants for ages 14 to 21. If you may apply if you're not within those ages, but if there is an equally suitable candidate within the age range, it will go to them. It can be part of post-secondary, or it can be other types of training or workshops within theater arts. You must be a resident of the Central Alberta area. So this includes the counties of Red Deer, Lacombe, Ponoka, Stettler, Kneehill, Mountain View, and Clearwater. There is a map that we'll look at in a second. This scholarship must be used towards training related in theater arts. So it can't, if you're involved in theater arts and are applying for post-secondary in another area, unfortunately, this scholarship does not cover the other areas. The application criteria is you must complete the application form, which we're going to go through and fill out together, as well as you must attach 2 reference letters from people that you've worked within theater arts. And then if the scholarship is awarded to you, we will need to see verification of acceptance into the program where the funds are intended to be used, if they're applicable. For example, if you're using it for post-secondary and you are, say, taking the U of L Bachelor of Fine Arts in Drama program, we would need to see that you have been accepted into the program. So you can either submit them physically, which you would mail to Red Deer Players Society at the address listed here, or you can email it to us at reddeerplayers@gmail.com. This year, we've extended the deadline to May 1st. If you're watching this and it is not 2024, the application deadline is April 15th. Unless it says otherwise on the website. I would double check, confirm with the website if it is not 2024 when you're watching this. So without further ado, let's look at this application form. So the application form is here. You can download the file. Currently it's a docs. If you're watching this after this video comes out, there will be a fillable PDF form on here to make it easier to fill out. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for the sake of being very thorough and very clear, you and I are going to fill one out together right now. So I'm going to put in some of my information. So the first is applicant information. You're going to put things like your name, the date you're applying is April 14th when I'm recording this, 2024. Address, I'm going to put street Red Deer, Alberta, you would put your actual street address. I'm just not going to put that in this video. Great. Then you would add your phone number, email, date of birth. These are all pretty self-explanatory personal information. What we're going to do is we're going to fill out the workshop or program the funds will be used for. Now, if you're curious about what kinds of programs, anything that is going to further your training in theater arts is applicable. An important thing to note here is this scholarship is not specifically for actors. It is for anybody involved in theater arts. So whether you're an actor, a technician, a director, a playwright, whatever you like to do in theater, this scholarship can be used towards that. And in fact, the more experience you have in different areas, the better your application will look for our criteria. So you can use it for post-secondary. A lot of people use it for their Bachelor of Fine Arts in Drama, or if you're doing a combined degree of Bachelor of Arts in Drama and Bachelor of Education, that's a great use for it. I can speak from experience. If you're looking into, but it doesn't necessarily need to be just post-secondary training. If you're looking into summer camp training intensive programs, such as music camp or arts trek, you can use the funds for something like that. Or for Sylvan Lake Theater summer camps, or for Treehouse Youth Theater summer camps. You could also use it for classes. If you want, if you're a member of Cornerstone Youth Theater or Treehouse Youth Theater, it can go towards those classes. It can also go towards any of those sorts of things. If you've got something that you're like a little bit unsure about whether or not it would be applicable, I recommend that you reach out to us either at reddeerplayers@gmail.com or either send us an email there, or if you or you can message us on Facebook or Instagram. So for the sake of this, let's say I'm going to the University of Lethbridge, BFA in Drama / Bachelor of Education, because that is what I used the scholarship for when I was a recipient a number of years ago. So then you're gonna, if this is a program that you need to apply for, so this is mostly for post-secondary, you're gonna hit yes if you've been accepted, or no if you haven't been accepted, or if you haven't gotten the formal acceptance yet. If you haven't, then you just put in the date when you will know. So let's say I don't know yet if I'm in the program, but I will know by May 31st, for example. Then you're going to put the organization. I listed that up here, so we're just going to copy and we're just going to cut and paste it. Then you're going to put the date. If it's something like Arts Trek, you're going to put the dates for Arts Trek. If it's a longer program such as this, the date of the program is, I would be, in this example, starting September 2024. And it's a 5-year program, so, oh no, I'm having to do math, and that's going to be immortalized forever. April 2029, because it's a 5-year program at U of L. Great. Then you're going to describe how the program will help you grow in the area of theater arts. There's an extra sheet attached. If you can also type it in Word and compile it in a PDF compiler, such as I Love PDF, which you can find by Googling I Love PDF. And it's a wonderful, wonderful website that lets you do anything you might need to do with the PDF. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in why this program is going to be beneficial to you. So for example, with the BFA BEd program, I could write about how it's going to help me share theater arts by becoming a strong educator and build my knowledge and understanding in directing and acting and other areas of interest throughout a 5-year bachelor's program. I would talk about some of the specific things you're interested in. For example, for me, that might be directing, that might be stage combat, that might be puppetry. For you, it might be, maybe you're looking at the McEwen BFA in musical theater program. So you might talk about the McEwen musical theater program is going to help me develop skills in singing, dancing, and acting for musical theater. Maybe you're applying for music amp, where it would be kind of similar things. It's going to help me develop my skills in singing, dancing, musical theater, my confidence levels. If you're applying for Treehouse, for example, it might be I'm really interested in playwriting, and this program will help me develop my skills in playwriting, in technical theater, in working with others, all that sort of thing. So all this information, basically, what does the program teach you, and why are you interested in those specific areas, or what you're looking to answer? Have you been previously awarded the Carole Forhan Theater Arts Scholarship? For this one, preference is given to those who have not received the scholarship before. If I was applying this year, would put yes, and then I would put 2020. I had to think about that. But for most people that are applying, and especially if you're watching this video, you're going to probably put no. Then you're going to put your references. Now, your references should speak to your commitment, dedication, work ethic, and passion for the theater arts. And you're going to put the contact information for these referring parties so that we know. So when we talk about references, this could be any number of people. A great place to start is many folks that are in high school or middle school. A great place to start is if you do theater at your school, is to put down your teacher as a reference. So you could put down your teacher because they've worked with you quite a lot. And if you're a Cornerstone or Treehouse kid, you might put down one of your teachers from there, or the artistic director of those respective companies, whoever you've worked with a lot there. If you've been involved in community theater, the directors of your community theater productions, people you've worked on closely with those, are great folks to put. If you do any volunteering, so for example, if you volunteer and help out with if you're a high school student and you volunteer to help with the middle school shows, put down the middle school teacher. That's a great reference for you. Anyone that is going to speak to your commitment, dedication, work ethic, and passion towards theater arts. If you're a technician, maybe this is a technical director. Maybe it's a stage manager. If you're an actor, a director is a great one. If you're a director, probably the producer or artistic director, whoever oversaw your directing. Playwriting, it would be somebody who's read quite a lot of your plays. So these can be different for everybody, but again, anybody who can speak to your commitment, dedication, work ethic, and passion towards theater arts is a good person to put here. So then, and we'll talk a little bit more about collecting the reference letters and such in a moment. Oh, and if you're a little bit older, if you're in the kind of 18 to 21 range and you're a post-secondary student, a professor is a great person to put here. Professor that you've had in theater arts. Again, directors are always great people to put here, stage managers, those people that have worked with you quite a bit. Cool. Now let's move on to previous theater arts experience. You might want to add an extra sheet here. So let's say, for example, I have worked with Red Deer Players on absinthe, bourbon, vodka, sake. Oh, that is the show title. And this is a great showcase of how easy the fillable PDF format is to fill out. Your players. And I put the director, I put the role in the show, what I did in the show. So I was an actor. My characters were named Parker and Jesse. I think this is how they spell Jesse. My responsibilities. So, for example, I, as an actor, memorized my lines, worked collaboratively with other director. You're going to want to list everything you've done, but those are just some examples of what I did. I'm going to list the dates. That show was last June, so I worked on it from May 2023 to June 2023. Now, that's just an example you can enter. I'm not going to list, you're going to know what your responsibilities were in the specific productions you're involved in. But just for the sake of giving another example of what it might look like if you're not an actor, I also do directing. So let's down time of this recording. I hear able to sing in a field. And this is it. I'm doing the show leverage. My role in the show is my responsibilities are to analyze now, if you're stage management, you're going to probably have a lot more responsibilities to put down there. But yeah, whatever the role in the show is, you're just going to put the information. Then, this part here, the consent to use personal information. Do you consent to Red Deer players utilizing personal information you have provided through this application for publicity purposes? That basically just means if you are the recipient of the scholarship, can we post about you? Can we use you in social media? Can we do that sort of stuff? This is yes or no, depending on your comfort level. I know for me, it's a yes. I run the social medias, so obviously I'm okay with being on them. Then there's 2 pages in the PDF for you to just write any other information. So I might add other shows. Say yeah, so if I, let's say, did lighting design, I would write down in kind of the same format. Let's say I worked at Central Alberta Theatre. Let's say I was the lighting designer for Birds and the Bees, which was their most recent show at the time of supporting. I wasn't the lighting designer for this show. If you're watching this later, I'm using this as an example. So we get the idea, right? To put additional information, you could also put additional information about the program. So if I'm again talking about the U of L program, I might write classes they offer, like including the ones of my specific interest. Let's say class in movement, directing, playwriting. This is a great time to talk about the point of, yeah, make sure that you edit and have good spell check, and spelling and grammar are important on the form, which is why I've been editing it, even though I'm not submitting this document, nor is it a complete document. But this is a great time to talk about, make sure that you put a lot of care and effort and all that into your application form, because it shows. It adds to that dedication and work ethic and all of that we are looking for in scholarship. So once you've completed this application better than I have here, the other thing you need are those 2 letters of reference. So these letters of reference, again, are to speak to your work ethic, dedication, passion in theater. Again, it can be from any two people that you feel can speak to those two or to those few criteria. Once you have those, what you're going to do is you are going to head over to your email. You're either going to print these out, fill them out by hand, and send them in an envelope, or you're going to head over to your email, type in reddeerplayers@gmail.com. That's reddeerplayers@gmail.com. And then you're going to send it to us. Then, after the deadline, before May 15th, the committee will meet to decide who the recipient will be. You'll be contacted either on or before May 15th with the recipient announced after that. Once it's announced, if you are lucky enough to be the recipient of the scholarship for that year, you will be sent a check as well as a card and a pre-addressed envelope to write a thank you note to the family of Carole Forhan, because it is a memorial scholarship in her name, and she was such a wonderful, vibrant part of the theater community in Red Deer. We really encourage that you do this. It's a really great way to say thanks and to give a little bit back when you're receiving a wonderful scholarship such as this. So, yeah, also if you receive it, they might ask to see proof of your acceptance into the program and of your registration, just to ensure that that money is being used where it is meant to be allocated towards. Great. I hope this video was helpful. Real quick, I'm going to re-pull up our map so we can have a little bit of a closer look at this. So in the big bolded area, these are the counties in which the Carole Forhan Scholarship can be awarded. So Red Deer County, obviously, we are a Red Deer-based theater company. That makes sense. But also Mountain View, Starland, Stettler, or is this Starland? Half of Starland, it appears. Lacombe County, Ponoka County, Clearwater County. So if you're in Rocky Mountain House, if you're in Sylvan Lake, if you're in Ponoka, if you're in Stettler, any of those places, you can apply for this scholarship. It's not just limited to Red Deer and Red Deer County. It is anywhere in this little bolded zone. You can find this right on the same website with all the other information. And I think that just about covers it. Here we just have the previous recipients. If you're curious, you can go take a peek at that. But I want to thank you, first of all, for tuning into this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at reddeerplayers@gmail.com, which is our email, or on Facebook or Instagram at the Red Deer Players Society or Red Deer Players. It's Red Deer Players Society on Facebook and Red Deer Players on Instagram, I believe. All right. With that, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you watching, and best of luck on your scholarship application.